Today is July 28th, 2014, back with another watch list. Friday was kind of slow, so not seeing a ton on scan today, but they're all tradable. I just not in love with anything. ARIA is the first one, ARIA. This is the false tweet. The story is this thing jumped huge based on some fake Twitter account that got deleted. I shorted, I think Thursday, and then got this quick drop to 6 and covered. I shorted late day Thursday, covered into this on Friday for a decent profit, and then I held half. Just because of this big gap, and I was very curious to kind of see where this story goes with this deleted Twitter account and stuff, but, and you can see it kind of, it spiked and faded, and then spiked a little bit at the close, so nothing really to ever scare me out of it. The only bad part was it was just really just kind of boring all day. There were other things I wanted to do on Friday afternoon, and I ended up watching this and NQ all afternoon, and neither of them really did anything. It's up and down a little bit pre-market, but I mean, I got a small enough position size that if it doesn't crack, it's not a big deal. I'd like to see it, obviously come back down to the 550s or something like that, but as long as it doesn't spike or grind back up, as long as it stays under 6 or so, I'll keep it and see what happens. Now, if it pops above 6, I'll just cover. I think my cost basis is in the 620 or something like that. So I already booked some profits. I won't lose any money on it, but I'll give it a little range. NQ shorted early in the day, and it kind of it didn't grind, but it spiked on me. I held kind of foolishly, but then right before I hit buy to cover, it started fading, so I decided to hold it, and it came back all day, and I ended up adding late day, which I'm not real happy about. I really try and make a point never to add to a loser, but this thing is it's pretty shady. Muddy Waters has done a bunch of reports on it. It spiked after they fired their auditor. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess companies can have disagreements with auditors, but to me, that seems, usually that's a red flag. I wouldn't expect to see a 50%, where, geez, I don't know. I don't remember if it was at 350 or where it was, but anyway, it was at 350 a few days ago. They fired their auditor, and now it's at 7, okay? That seems like this is due for some pullback, but same thing. I'd really like to get out of this quick today. I really think it has a potential to just grind all day, and that's not what I want. So WPCS was an ugly miss on Friday, and mainly I blame ARIA and NQ. It's funny how you get trapped in these lame plays and they end up missing the good ones. WPCS is some Bitcoin. They used to be like some Wi-Fi chip maker. They decided they're going to go into Bitcoin. They're probably going to weed next. Who knows? But it spiked and dropped. Let me back up a little bit. It was longer than I thought. Oh, geez. Okay. Maybe I'm remembering this wrong. But, I mean, there's some spikes and dips here. But, it seems like every now and then they'll spike on some Bitcoin hype and then fade back. And I thought about after if it hit the peak at 120 and started coming back, I thought about shorting it in the 115s, 110s. But then I talked myself out of it because I'm like, well, there's just not that much downside. Well, it would have been a 20% move if you nailed the bottom, and this thing doesn't exactly look strong today. It could continue to fade, so kind of bummed about that one. I'll watch it today. I won't short it at this price level, but if it can spike again, then I'll look to hit it so that I don't miss that repeat of last week. GRH, I hate on this stock a lot, but it's spiked back in, about a month ago. I shorted right at the top, got a nice little fade, And you know, and I really thought it was going to continue to keep back or come back. Now it's a good thing I covered when I did. Went sideways, spiked again on some partnership deal. Really pretty choppy, but I'd like to short this. I just don't really like this company for some reason. But if it's going to do this junk like it did, it'll probably just go sideways and could spike again. So I'm watching it. Don't know if I'll trade it. Probably pretty unlikely. Neo, I need to look into this one a little bit more. I think I said the same thing last week, but keeps trending up, trending up. I would like to, you know, I'd like to get short this, but I need to see why it's up. Chart looks okay. Not in love with it. The one long pick for today, and you can actually see it down here on my stocks to trade filter here, XGTI. This is the second big contract they've announced. They got one, I think, excuse me, geez, you know, a month or so ago, a $500 million contract. It spiked to 3. They got another $500 million contract, I think, again today. So it's spiking pre-market. You can see it's up, what, almost 20% pre-market. So I hate to buy it when it's up 20%, but I'll watch this for follow-through. I mean, if it can continue to hold, and you know, might spike through 3. So it's a decent long setup. I like the story, and you know, I like the chart. So again, nothing great out there, but you know, there's some solid plays for today.